Your Highness, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am honored and privileged to introduce to you a princess journalist, Her Royal Highness Princess Rym Ali. Our speaker today is the founder of the Jordan Media Institute, with a master's program at its core. Her Royal Highness is also a board commissioner of the Royal Film Commission of Jordan. This interest in media by Her Royal Highness is not new. It is rooted in education and experience. As far as education is concerned, Her Royal Highness is a graduate of Columbia University's School of Journalism in the US. Her Royal Highness holds a master's degree in political science from the Institute of Political Science in Paris, and also a master's degree in English literature from the Sorbonne. As for work experience, Her Highness was CNN correspondent in Baghdad between 2001 and 2004. She joined CNN as a producer in 1998. She as well worked for several international broadcasters such as Dubai TV, Bloomberg TV, Radio Monte Carlo, BBC World Service, and United Press International. As for today's lecture on media and cultural development, I should say that the choice of this topic is timely. It has been 40 years, almost 40 years, since Herbert Schiller, an American communication scholar, published his well-known work on communication and cultural domination. In this work, he threw light on the domination of the periphery by the center, an issue that has become a crucial concept in the debate on globalization and national identity. Further, technological evolution of communication media have contributed to a cultural and ideological dependence. Therefore, I believe it is of our interest, Jordanians and Arabs, to tackle such themes and be aware of their implications. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish on your behalf to thank Talal Abu-Ghazaleh's Business Forum for giving this opportunity to listen to this lecture. Please join me in welcoming our Honourable Speaker, Her Royal Highness Princess Rym.
Do you mind if I stand up, because I'm more comfortable
Please.
when I stand up? Sorry. Yeah, that's better. I'd like to say at the outset that in the presence of such eminent professors and doctors and experts, really, I'm very humbled to be here, and I hope you'll forgive my whatever shortcomings may arise out of my speech. But this is something that I hope we can have a fruitful debate on. And again, I will ask for your indulgence. When I was first approached by the organizers of this presentation at Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, more precisely by Mrs. Tahrid Brizat. Where is Tahrid?
Thank you.
There you are. She's very persistent. She's very good. She asked me to hold a talk related to the media. I immediately thought of merging culture and media, which are two areas in which I'm heavily involved, be it at the Royal Film Commission or also at the Jordan Media Institute. The link between the two, media and cultural development, of course, can seem very obvious. But so too is their contribution and their dependence on the level of development of society. While I was researching this very important topic, I also realized how vast it was, how complex, and the underpinning values that all too often we take for granted. Is culture nice to have, or is it need to have in a society that still struggles with important life issues? Why do we in Jordan have to worry about our cultural development while other important issues are at stake? I remember at the Film Commission, once we were looking for resumes at the project level, at the project management level. I should have come here actually. But but one of the best we got was from somebody who was working in a hospital. When we approached him, he very kindly and politely turned us down after sharing his view that health was a priority in Jordan, in his view. Film was not. It was actually the last thing to matter, a luxury, in his words. As I researched this paper, I also came across several concepts that are recurrent, with which I was familiar through my daily work, or so I thought, but this time I began to question them. Is it a proven fact that media is an instrument of change, or is it simply a reflection of change? And with the advent of new media today, can we still believe in the top-down approach where those who produce media content dictate the orientation of a society? Before I start, I hope you don't mind, I'd just like to, in order to limit the scope of the presentation, I'd just like to go through the definitions I'll be using for media and cultural development. Media, of course, is radio, sound reception, film, video, their means of distribution, print ranging from dailies to magazines, TV, of course, which has become the center of media culture today, and of course the new media, so websites, blogs, social networks, Facebook, Twitter, etc., and online audiovisual like YouTube. Looking at the UN Organization for Education, Science and Culture, UNESCO, they define culture as the whole complex of distinctive spiritual, material, intellectual and emotional features that characterize a society or social group. And that includes, of course, not only the arts and literature, but also ways of life, fundamental rights of human beings, value systems, traditions and beliefs. Why is this important for Jordan? So far, Jordan's international image has generally been one of tolerance, respect and openness. And it's not only because of how the media represent us, it is essentially because in that the image of Jordan is quite faithful to its reality. Like many countries, however, we in Jordan seem to fear, I think, what the media can do to our culture. Our attempts to maybe consolidate our culture to ourselves through the media still, I think, leave room for improvement. And in a globalized world, it is crucial to position oneself and to forge one's own identity. The stronger we are culturally, the more recognized internationally we become, and the more we can resist the much feared acculturation process. Don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating to nurture an ultra-nationalistic culture based on a narrow concept of identity. On the contrary, I believe in strengthening a culture that integrates all the elements that constitute its wealth, its various communities, both its vibrant urban fabric and its equally inspiring rural environment. For many, Jordan is a land of asylum, at the crossroads of cultures. Let's take advantage of this incredible wealth and celebrate it and liberate it. We need to live up to our image of an open, tolerant society capable of preserving its rich cultural heritage, of integrating all the contributions, recent and less recent, and of producing something which in the end will truly reflect us, what we were once and what we have become.